Good morning, Chris Whelan here from the Center of Business Excellence, building better businesses and building better business results ultimately. I want to talk to you today about some lessons I've taken out of some time I spent last week down in Otago with coaches from around the country, where we shared ideas about what works, what doesn't work, what our clients are experiencing, what their views are of the economy, because clearly that's a big ticket item at the moment. And I just wanted to give you some insights into the type of thinking that we're seeing and I'm seeing from around the traps. So first off, and really what I'm going to talk about today is that time matters, right? Time absolutely matters. And what do I mean by that? Well, pretty much anyone can say to you, you need to make lots of money. And sure, no question, in the game of business, money and profit, more particularly, is how we keep score. But ultimately, a person can have masses and masses and masses of money. If they have no time to enjoy it, what's the point, right? I sat on the plane on the way down to Dunedin, and then on the way back, remarkably sat next to the same person. And she asked me a question, and it was quite an interesting question. Do I, as a business coach, am I just about making money, or is there more to it than that? And of course, the answer is absolutely there's more to it than that. I hope that becomes very clear. Time is the most important ingredient in one's life. If you spend money today, you can make more tomorrow. But if you spend time today, it's gone, right? So one of the key lessons coming out of last week was that time is the big ingredient. And yes, you can go after money, but if you don't go after them together, you don't go after them sustainably, ultimately they fall over. So that's a bit of introduction. What do I mean by time and money? I think sometimes business owners, particularly SME business owners, can really work flat out, absolutely every hour under the sun. And yep, they might get decent rewards, but they're working every hour under the sun for those rewards. They're not actually having a life. What they've built for themselves is not a business, right? They've built for themselves a job, which is self-employed. And I'll talk about that in a moment, because my definition of a successful business is one that's commercial, right? And when I say commercial, it means that it's not in chaos. It's actually run under good structured lines. It's commercial, it's profitable, so you know exactly where your next dollar is coming from. You're making good money. And here's the kicker. It can work without you. If it can work without you, that means that you don't have to work every hour under the sun. You can enjoy the time and you can enjoy the benefits of it. The unfortunate thing, though, is that too often we see people who are really working flat out. They've got a job. If they don't work, they don't get income. And what they've built is a level of rigidity rather than resilience, right? They've built rigidity rather than resilience because ultimately the business is themselves. It's not a business. They've maxed out on their time and energy. They're absolutely exhausted probably at the end of the week. And so that's clearly problematic. And unfortunately, even a successful business can reach a plateau. And that's where you need to then break through to the next level. You need to push on beyond where one's been. And I guess the key point, I think, is that what I want to talk to you about now is how to do that, right? So easy to make money at some level if you work flat out, but also easy to lose yourself, build a business that actually is you. What I want to talk about is how to build a business that actually can work for you, because ultimately that's what you want to build, is a business asset that works for you. And whether you work or not, you make money and you make time, or you have time. It's almost what I would call, in the business world, is you become an exceptional outlier. So over a period of 12, 18 months, you've built a business that actually can have strong foundations. And actually on that point, what we also see is that over 5 to 7 years, a person can build a business depending on where they start from, where the business is entirely independent, and they can then go and repeat it. So let me just chat then a little bit about what that means and about how to do it, because I think that's probably the next step. The key point, though, is that coming out of it, the person also gets a renewed sense of self-belief, a new sense of hope. Chatting with someone this morning, and we were talking literally about hope's not a strategy in business, but it's important to actually have a sense of hope in one's life, because ultimately your business should be giving you more life, not the other way around. So let me just kick then into how to do it, right? Not just the theory of doing it. So the first point is that when one deals with building a business that can work without you, you want to start right down the bottom, right, with the deep, deep, deep foundations. What do I mean by that? It's what I call the area of mastery. And when I say mastery, I mean there's probably 4 areas that I talk about. Firstly, financial, right? So you absolutely have to know your numbers. And That means you know your break-even point, and it means you know your profit and loss numbers. It means you know your reporting. It means you have a KPI dashboard, some kind of dashboard that allows you to run the business. It means you have a process that tests and measures things. So first point of mastery is to make sure you know your financial numbers. The second point, and say second point, it's probably could do it the other way around, I suppose, is to know where you're going, know the destination you're trying to build, what it is that you want to achieve. And knowing that destination, knowing the goals you've got, you then build the financials around that as well. The third area is, some people call it time mastery. I tend to call it self-mastery, because we've all got 168 hours in the week. You can't master time, but you can master yourself. So that's the third area of mastery. And then the fourth area is actually delivering the basics of your service, right? Doing it well, doing it consistently, knowing exactly each time how to do it. And the way to get that right is to set up a very clear flow-charted process. It's not in your head, it's out on paper so that everyone understands it. So get those 4 areas of mastery right: your financials, your goals and your direction, your mastery of yourself, and your mastery of your delivery. Then you've got a strong foundation. Beyond that, right, you then want to get into different areas and you can start building on it. What I call marketing, when you find your unique selling proposition, your marketing plan. Beyond marketing, you want your systems, because your systems, remember, are the ones that run your business, and you write simple business systems, nothing over the top. The third area is a team, and when you have a team, you want to recruit not just a mediocre team. If I were to ask you today, would you employ all of your team again? Many people say no. What you want is a great team that runs the business using the systems that you've developed previously. The fourth or fifth area, I think it's called synergy in the methodology that I use. That synergy level is where you employ a general manager, and he or she then can run the business, run the team runs the systems. You as the business owner have time, right? And what that gives you is the results that you want. So when I talk about time being the most important thing, right at the top of that pile is where the business owner, you as the business owner, have time. You've done the work, you've got the mastery of the business right, you've built good systems, you've employed a great team, you've then perhaps gone to the point of having a general manager. Get that right, and you have the time that you need. And really, that's probably as much as I wanted to talk about today, getting those elements in place. And I want to encourage you, and this I think is really where I started, and I've rambled a bit, I'm conscious of that. I want to encourage you to reflect on the fact that time is your most important commodity. If you're feeling like you haven't got enough of it, or you're feeling like you get to the end of the week and you flat tack, or you might be getting the money you want, but you just don't have the time to enjoy it, and you're exhausted. That's where someone like myself can kick in and help you to get that mojo back in your life. Give me a shout, jump onto the link, book some time in my calendar. I'd be very glad to walk you through what I've just outlined now. What I call the 6 steps, if you like, to a profitable business, right? It's the 6 steps to a profitable business, and it's a profitable business that works without you, gives you the time. Let's have a chat. You've got nothing to lose, and I really would encourage you to keep reflecting on the fact that use the methodology to get yourself time and have a fantastic week. All the very best. Cheers. Bye-bye.